I'm ready.
Okay, so first thing is the TV, turn it on, so I have a screen. Kind of move the mouse, make sure it is good. Next, I'm gonna just click down here on Sam Broadcaster.
Okay.
All the programs are down here, so you'll never have an issue. So Sam Broadcaster is the orange one. Once you click it, it pops up. Next thing I do is I open this folder right here.
Which folder?
It's just the folder that's on the bottom. It opens the entire system.
Okay.
So I click on desktop. Then I go to down and I go to commercial liners.
Okay.
Every show has its own folder.
Okay.
So then I go to sports talk. Now the sports talk promo hasn't been changed yet.
Right.
So I just use the intro.
Okay.
And then I have your voice here.
Right.
So I usually use Florida Sun. Then I put Chris. And then I put the intro.
We'll do a live commercial today instead of Florida Sun, okay? I won't flub it up. I'll do good.
Okay. So then these are your beds. Obviously, you can see they all say Stu bed.
Cool.
So I just cue those like that, boom, and I drag them down.
Okay.
So now you got beds.
Yep.
You guys don't have an outro. It's not a big deal. Usually go out with a song.
Yeah.
But I usually go back to the desktop. You don't have to because everything, sometimes if you just opened it, it's here.
Right.
But I'm just trying to show you for general use. Just hit desktop because all the folders are there.
Right.
Go down. Then there's a beds folder.
Right.
I usually use a random bed before and after your show. So, for example, today I'm going to use Blessing. And then I use Blessing again. Now, usually you could download all the music, but I did a courtesy and went ahead and converted the files and emailed them to myself so that way it would be easier.
You're amazing.
So, yeah, so that way you can see here, if you go down, tons of emails. All right, this is not my email, obviously. I'm like, wait, what? This is GQ's email. So,
GQ.
Where's Indie Jamz? How do I go back? What? Oh, there's Indie. So obviously you know how to use Gmail, right?
Yeah.
So just make sure Indie Jamz's logo is in the corner. So Mimi says Sports Talk Music. Like I said, I went ahead and downloaded all the files already. So you just hit download, download, download. And I need one more. I think it's this one. Or it's Kanye. So
Sure, we had Kanye, right?
Yeah, but I just did it so that there was no issues, you know? So I usually just click on the line pointing up, click on the file, bring it over. That's one. Show in folder. Oh, clicking too fast. Go ahead and drag that one over. Open it up again. Don't know what that is. Show in folder. And then the last one is not there, so I just click show all. I don't remember which track it is. Go back.
Colossal.
Yeah, and this one's hard. I like this song. And then now the order you want them in. So the intro is going to be your first song, Follow God. Your second song is going to be Colossal. So then you put it after this first bed. And then your third song is Juicy.
Yeah.
So you put it after Prowler. And then your last song is Orion, and then that one is last. And then you see how you have the Blessing before and after? You literally can play it for 10 seconds just so that there's no silence when you hit the stream.
Right.
Now, once you do that, just press play. That's it. This is how you set up a show. It's fairly normal. You put the bed before. Then you go to the station. Actually, once this is playing, you go ahead and start this encoder. This is my stream. Sometimes it does that. You just gotta press stop and start again.
Oh, the error. Okay.
You wanna?
Error.
Oh my god! Of course, today of all days. Make sure it says encoding.
Okay.
It's weird. Sometimes it goes right away, sometimes it doesn't. And then all you have to do here is just hit start now. Start now means you're just starting the station. And you're ready to rock and roll after this.
Okay.
You minimize that. You can leave it to the end of the show. And then this is going to start playing. It's already recording. It's going to go right into the commercials. Everything's going to follow through.
Cool.
Now, next, I usually set up the iPad, which I'm going to need you to log into.
Okay.
Chris, you give me anything from Bay Hill?
Yeah, we got a ton of photos. Wrote a couple stories.
Like this.
Yeah. I left it at home, but I do have one. I have one for you. I made sure I got one.
What, some swag?
He wanted a program book.
Yeah, they have nice program books.
Yeah, it is nice.
And then you go ahead and
I
log in.
did get it though. What was it?
Here, let me see your camera. This is the board, guys. This controls the system. It always needs to be at a medium. This controls the speaker in the studio. You never want to have this loud when the mics are on. You always want to have it at a very low, so you can still get some sound in the studio besides the headphones, but you don't want it too loud because you'll get back feed from the microphones and it will sound horrible. This is the headsets. You want to make sure that's at a fairly less than medium, otherwise you'll go deaf. Right here on the board is 13 and the main. Those are the key ones. This one has to be up. This one doesn't need to be up. That's sound effects for another show. But this one needs to be at the line. This one as well at the line. As long as both of those up, you will get sound coming out of Sam Broadcaster going into the stream, going live on air. These are the microphones. This is 1. This is you. This is 2. This is your first guest. This is 3. This is your guest farthest to your right. This is your guest that has his back to you at number 4, and this is number 5.
Where's
Goes
number
around.
5?
Number 5 is right here. It goes around like clockwork.
Like clockwork.
Like clockwork. And then obviously, Chris, you're familiar with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up top. You can kind of mess with those and level them out with the faders as much as you like, as long as your levels are good. If your levels are hitting red, you are too loud.
Too loud.
Bring it down a notch. This sound, where exactly what it looks like right now, is exactly how your sound levels should look. And in the event your sound is too low, maybe we won't hear you as good on air, but you can always go back and edit your show.
Can't remember my password.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I never have to remember my password.
I can't believe how bad the traffic on Formosa is going towards.
Yeah, it's really bad. I-4 was insane.
Yes.
Just be glad you took Formosa and not I-4.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really bad.
Costco that I cut across on Loma. And I would have been right here at 5:45.
Once again, this is the show rundown. Brought to you in part by Indie Jamz Radio.
Just remember, America runs on Duncan.
That's right.
Hey, they're not paying me to say that.
I'm trying to get a sponsor right now.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to bust me from the Sanders campaign, so I got about a media buy on my station.
She's gonna need a lot more than that, but they could come talk to me if they want the minority vote.
Right, when we're the target audience.
Yeah.
Young, urban.
Alright, I'll go on Polly's for today. But more or less, this is how it's done. Obviously, once you have 30 seconds left on your first song, you yell out 30 seconds, you lower the system volume for the speaker. Then you come back and you watch the countdown go, and as soon as you get to your first bed, you lower it down to 36.1, which you can see here. Once you go up and down, it'll have some numbers. There you go. Once you get down to 36.
Disclaimer.
That's perfect for sound. Talking over the talk bed, 36.1. And then you turn on your mics.
Oh, big time.
Faders up, faders up. Make sure you press down the buttons and unmute it. Just for the mics you're using to talk on. After that, you should be golden. Once you go back into songs, you go ahead and unpress your buttons, mute them, bring your faders down, and make sure your levels are good. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks for tuning in on how to be a producer right here on Indie Jamz. Keep it locked. Sports Talk Unfiltered. Up next with the Stu.